After 65 years of marriage, she still remembers the exact moment she fell in love with him, a fleeting glance across the room that changed her life forever. But what really kept their love alive wasn't the passion of that first glance. It was the quiet, unspoken intimacy built in the spaces between the extraordinary moments of life. In any close relationship, intimacy is one of the most complex and vital elements. But have you ever wondered why some women choose to engage in deeply intimate acts with their partners, such as oral sex? For many, this isn't just about physical pleasure, but rather a deeper emotional bond that transcends the purely physical aspects of a relationship. This video explores the wisdom shared by a 92-year-old woman, someone who has lived through decades of experience, to explain what these intimate moments truly signify in a relationship. It's not simply about the act itself, but about what it reveals about the emotional and psychological aspects of the partnership. When a woman engages in intimate acts, she's not just connecting on a physical level, but on an emotional and mental one too. But what does this truly mean? How do such moments reflect the depth of emotional intimacy and connection? Is there something more profound going on than just a desire for pleasure? And why do some men seem to misunderstand the signals and cues, often leading to a gradual loss of intimacy over time? In this discussion, we'll delve into these questions, uncovering powerful insights on how intimate moments strengthen the bonds between partners, emotionally, physically, and psychologically. You'll discover why women engage in acts like oral sex, what it says about their emotional connection, and how small shifts in behavior and communication can dramatically change the dynamics of a relationship. We'll also explore the biggest mistakes men make, often without realizing it, that push women away emotionally. Furthermore, we'll discuss how to foster an environment where she genuinely desires closeness and intimacy without feeling pressured or obligated. By the end, you'll understand how emotional security and trust play crucial roles in creating a relationship filled with passion, connection, and love. For women, emotional intimacy plays a foundational role in the desire for physical closeness. Unlike men who may often compartmentalize physical and emotional attraction, many women see the two as deeply intertwined. Physical acts like oral sex are often reflections of how emotionally secure they feel in the relationship. In other words, women are more likely to engage in these acts when they feel emotionally safe, appreciated, and connected to their partner. Understanding this distinction is vital. When a woman engages in intimate acts, she is expressing a form of trust that transcends the physical. For her, these acts are an extension of the emotional security she feels in the relationship. It is not merely about physical pleasure, it is about the vulnerability and connection that accompanies such acts. Many men, on the other hand, often focus on the physical aspects of intimacy, believing that acts like oral sex are purely about physical pleasure. However, numerous studies show that for women, emotional factors play a far more significant role. The way she feels about the relationship, the sense of trust, safety, and security she experiences greatly influences her desire for intimacy. Consider the example of a couple who has been together for several decades. At the beginning of their relationship, they experienced deep passion and frequent physical affection. The emotional bond was strong and both partners felt cherished and loved. However, over time, things began to change. The woman, who once enjoyed being close to her partner, started to pull away. Intimacy became rare and her desire for physical closeness diminished. The man, confused, attributed the change to aging or hormonal shifts, but in reality, the issue stemmed from emotional disconnection. Many women in long-term relationships experience this gradual loss of desire when the emotional connection starts to fade. It's not that they no longer love their partner, but rather that they don't feel the same emotional security and affection that they once did. This emotional disconnect manifests in physical ways. When a woman feels unseen, unappreciated, or emotionally distant from her partner, her physical desire naturally fades. The passion that once came so easily begins to wane because the emotional foundation has weakened. What many men fail to realize is that physical intimacy often reflects the emotional state of the relationship. For a woman to desire physical closeness, she needs to feel emotionally connected and appreciated. When these emotional needs aren't met, the desire for intimacy diminishes. One of the most common mistakes men make, often without even realizing it, is neglecting the small, day-to-day efforts that make their partner feel special. At the start of a relationship, men naturally go out of their way to make their partner feel cherished. They listen attentively, plan thoughtful surprises, and make their love and affection known in many ways. But as the relationship progresses, many of these small gestures start to fade. Life gets busy, and the efforts to make the partner feel appreciated become less frequent. Men often assume that once they've established a relationship, they no longer need to put in the same effort. They think love, once won, will take care of itself. However, this assumption is a silent relationship killer. Women don't fall out of love suddenly. It happens gradually when they stop feeling valued and appreciated. As the emotional connection weakens, physical intimacy follows. Most men don't realize that this is happening until it's too late. They believe their partner has lost interest in sex, but in reality, she has lost the emotional connection that fuels her desire. To keep a relationship strong, it's crucial for men to continue making their partner feel special. Small daily gestures, thoughtful words, and consistent emotional support go a long way in maintaining intimacy. When a woman feels emotionally connected, she will naturally desire physical closeness. A man in his 50s once shared the story of his marriage. He had been with his wife for over 30 years, and for the first 2 decades, their relationship was filled with love, passion, and intimacy. However, as the years passed, things began to change. Their physical intimacy became less frequent, and his wife seemed emotionally distant. He didn't understand what had gone wrong. He assumed that perhaps age or life stressors had affected their relationship, but when he really thought about it, he realized that he had stopped making his wife feel special. He couldn't remember the last time he had done something thoughtful or spontaneous to show his love for her. Determined to restore their relationship, he started making small changes. He began listening more attentively to his wife, asking about her day, and showing genuine interest in her thoughts and feelings. He started leaving her little notes, planning small surprises, and offering compliments that went beyond her appearance. The results were almost immediate. His wife, who had once seemed distant, began to open up emotionally. The more he invested in their emotional connection, the more their physical intimacy returned. It wasn't about grand gestures or extravagant gifts. It was about showing his wife that he valued and appreciated her in the everyday moments. In the wisdom shared by a 92-year-old woman, we learned that one of the most important aspects of maintaining intimacy in a relationship is emotional security. According to her, a woman gives her heart and body fully when she feels cherished, protected, and emotionally secure. This emotional security is what allows her to be vulnerable and open, both emotionally and physically. In many relationships, the decline of intimacy is often linked to a breakdown in emotional security. When a woman feels emotionally distant from her partner, she will naturally withdraw from physical closeness as well. This is why emotional connection is so vital in maintaining intimacy over the long term. Many men mistakenly believe that physical attraction and performance are the keys to keeping a relationship strong. However, as the 92-year-old woman explained, true intimacy is not about physical appearance or sexual prowess. It's about creating an emotional environment where both partners feel safe, valued, and connected. By focusing on emotional connection, men can foster a relationship that is not only physically satisfying, but also deeply fulfilling on an emotional level. To rekindle intimacy in a relationship, it's essential to focus on emotional connection. Here are 3 key actions that men can take to strengthen their emotional bond with their partner and bring back physical intimacy. First, speak to her heart, not just her ears. The words you use and the way you communicate with your partner play a significant role in how she feels emotionally connected to you. Many men underestimate the power of words in maintaining intimacy. It's not just about saying I love you or complimenting her appearance. It's about speaking to her heart in a way that makes her feel cherished and valued. Instead of offering surface-level compliments like you look nice today, try something deeper like I love the way your smile lights up the room. These kinds of compliments show that you are paying attention to the little things that make her unique. Another powerful way to connect emotionally through words is to express appreciation for her efforts. Instead of a simple "thanks for dinner," try saying, "I really appreciate the love and effort you put into making this meal. It makes me feel so taken care of." When a woman feels emotionally seen and understood, she will naturally feel more connected to you. This emotional connection is the foundation of a fulfilling, intimate relationship. Second, make her feel special in the small moments. Grand gestures like lavish gifts or expensive dinners are nice, but what truly makes a woman feel special is the consistent attention to small, everyday details. It's the thoughtful, spontaneous acts that show her you're thinking about her even when you're not together. It could be something as simple as sending her a text during the day just to say you're thinking of her, making her coffee in the morning, or giving her a quick kiss on the forehead before leaving for work. These small acts, when done consistently, builds a foundation of emotional connection that strengthens over time. When a woman feels special and appreciated in these small moments, she is much more likely to feel close and connected to her partner on a deeper level. Many men mistakenly believe that large, grandiose actions are required to keep the romance alive, but the reality is that intimacy is built in the day-to-day interactions, not in the occasional big moments. Third, prioritize emotional intimacy over physical intimacy. One of the biggest mistakes men make is focusing too much on the physical aspect of the relationship and not enough on the emotional side. While physical intimacy is important, emotional intimacy is the foundation upon which it is built. When a woman feels emotionally connected, she will naturally want to be physically close to her partner. However, if the emotional connection is lacking, physical intimacy can begin to feel like an obligation rather than a desire. To prioritize emotional intimacy, focus on creating a space where she feels safe to open up about her thoughts, feelings, and emotions. This means being present, listening without judgment, and showing empathy and understanding. It's about creating a sense of emotional security that allows her to be vulnerable with you. When she feels that her emotional needs are being met, she will naturally desire to be physically close as well. Many men, especially in long-term relationships, find themselves wondering why the passion has faded. They may try to rekindle it by focusing on physical acts, but without emotional intimacy, those efforts often fall flat. Emotional intimacy is what allows physical intimacy to thrive. When a woman feels emotionally connected to her partner, she will feel more comfortable expressing her love physically. A 92-year-old woman who had been married for over 60 years shared that the key to maintaining intimacy in a long-term relationship is making your partner feel emotionally safe and loved. According to her, it's not about the number of times you engage in physical intimacy, but rather the quality of the emotional connection that sustains the relationship. In her experience, physical intimacy becomes more meaningful and fulfilling when it is a reflection of a deep emotional bond. For many men, emotional intimacy can feel foreign or uncomfortable because it requires vulnerability. However, vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the key to creating a deeper connection with your partner. When both partners are willing to be open and vulnerable with each other, it creates a bond that goes beyond the physical. This emotional connection is what allows intimacy to flourish, even in the later stages of a relationship. As we age, physical attraction may change, but emotional intimacy can continue to grow stronger. One of the most beautiful aspects of long-term relationships is the way in which the emotional bond deepens over time. When a couple prioritizes emotional intimacy, they create a foundation of trust, respect, and love that can withstand the challenges of life. This emotional bond allows the couple to continue enjoying physical closeness even as their bodies change with age. Another important factor in maintaining intimacy is understanding the role that stress and external pressures can play in a relationship. In today's fast-paced world, both men and women are often juggling multiple responsibilities: work, family, social obligations, and these stresses can take a toll on the emotional connection between partners. When one or both partners are feeling overwhelmed or stressed, it can be difficult to find the energy for physical intimacy. However, instead of interpreting this as a lack of interest, it's important to understand that stress can be a major barrier to intimacy. One way to address this is by creating a space where your partner feels comfortable sharing their stresses and concerns. By listening without trying to fix the problem, you can help them feel supported and understood. Sometimes just knowing that their partner is there to listen and provide emotional support is enough to alleviate some of the stress and open the door to intimacy. It's also important to find ways to de-stress together, whether it's through activities you both enjoy, taking time for relaxation, or simply being there for each other during challenging times. The 92-year-old woman emphasized the importance of patience and understanding in maintaining intimacy. She shared that in her own marriage, there were times when stress, illness, or other life challenges made physical intimacy difficult. However, she and her husband always prioritized their emotional connection. Even when they couldn't be physically close, they found ways to support each other emotionally, which kept their relationship strong. In addition to stress, changes in physical health can also affect intimacy. For women, hormonal changes during menopause can lead to a decrease in sexual desire or discomfort during intercourse. Men may also experience changes in sexual function as they age. However, these changes do not mean the end of intimacy. Instead, they offer an opportunity to explore new ways of being close. Intimacy doesn't always have to involve intercourse. It can be about cuddling, holding hands, or sharing affectionate moments. The key is to remain open and communicative about each other's needs and desires. Another aspect of intimacy that many couples overlook is the role of self-care. When individuals take care of their own physical and emotional well-being, they are better able to show up for their partner in the relationship. This means making time for activities that bring joy and relaxation, prioritizing mental health, and staying physically active. When both partners are taking care of themselves, they have more energy and emotional capacity to nurture the relationship. The 92-year-old woman shared that one of the reasons she and her husband maintained intimacy throughout their marriage was because they each made an effort to take care of themselves. Whether it was through hobbies, exercise, or spending time with friends, they both ensured that they had their own sources of fulfillment outside the relationship. This allowed them to come back to each other feeling energized and ready to connect. In the end, intimacy in a relationship is not just about physical closeness, it's about creating a deep emotional bond that allows both partners to feel loved, valued, and understood. By focusing on emotional connection, making small, consistent efforts to show appreciation, and fostering a space where both partners feel emotionally secure, couples can maintain a fulfilling and intimate relationship over the long term. For men, understanding that emotional intimacy is the key to physical intimacy can transform the way they approach their relationships. It's not about trying harder in the bedroom or focusing on physical performance. It's about making your partner feel cherished, supported, and emotionally connected. When a woman feels emotionally safe and valued, she will naturally desire to be physically close. By prioritizing emotional intimacy, men can create a relationship that is not only physically satisfying, but also deeply fulfilling on an emotional level. In conclusion, the wisdom of the 92-year-old woman teaches us that intimacy is about so much more than just physical acts. It's about creating an emotional environment where both partners feel safe, loved, and connected. By focusing on emotional connection, continuing to make your partner feel special in small ways, and prioritizing vulnerability and communication, couples can maintain a deep, fulfilling intimacy that lasts a lifetime. In long-term relationships, intimacy requires attention, care, and continual growth. It's easy to fall into routine and take each other for granted, but true intimacy, emotional or physical, is a living entity that needs nurturing. The bond between two people isn't built overnight, nor does it stay strong by itself. Just like a garden, it requires constant tending, small acts of care, attention, and the willingness to grow alongside one another. Intimacy isn't a state of being, but rather an ongoing process of deepening connection, and it evolves over time. Over the years, life brings many challenges that can test the closeness of a couple. Work stress, health issues, aging, the demands of raising children, or financial pressures. These challenges, however, can either drive a wedge between partners or serve as opportunities to strengthen the bond depending on how they are handled. When couples face challenges together and maintain open, honest communication, it reinforces the emotional intimacy that sustains a relationship through hard times. When they isolate themselves emotionally, even if unintentionally, it creates distance. One of the lessons from the 92-year-old woman was that she and her husband always faced their challenges as a team. Whether it was a family crisis, financial strain, or a health issue, they leaned on each other for support and never lost sight of the fact that they were in it together. This teamwork kept them emotionally connected, even during difficult periods when physical intimacy might have taken a back seat. The emotional bond they built through mutual support during tough times was what allowed them to maintain physical intimacy even as they grew older. Another key aspect of maintaining intimacy is adaptability. As the relationship progresses and both partners change over time, the way intimacy is expressed may also change. What worked for a couple in their 20s may not work in their 50s or 60s, and that's perfectly normal. The ability to adapt to these changes is crucial. For instance, as physical desire naturally fluctuates with age, couples may need to explore new ways of being intimate that go beyond the traditional understanding of physical closeness. This could include spending more time together, engaging in new activities, or simply making a point to be affectionate in different ways. One mistake that many couples make is assuming that intimacy will naturally fade with age, but this doesn't have to be the case. In fact, many older couples report that their relationships become more intimate as they age because they are more emotionally connected than ever before. Without the pressures of work or raising children, they have more time to focus on each other, and the intimacy they experience is often deeper and more meaningful than it was in their younger years. To foster this type of intimacy, couples must be willing to adapt and change alongside one another. This means being open to new experiences, learning more about each other as individuals, and being flexible with the way intimacy is expressed. It also requires letting go of any rigid expectations about what a relationship should look like and embracing the fact that intimacy can take many forms. Another way to maintain intimacy is to continue investing in the relationship by making time for each other. This becomes especially important as couples grow older and other priorities such as work or family obligations take center stage. In the early stages of a relationship, spending time together is often effortless, as couples are eager to be with each other as much as possible. However, as life becomes more demanding, it can be easy to let that time slip away. Couples who prioritize spending quality time together, no matter how busy life gets, are more likely to maintain their emotional and physical connection over the years. The 92-year-old woman and her husband made it a point to carve out time for just the two of them, even during the busiest periods of their lives. Whether it was going on regular dates, taking weekend trips, or simply sitting together and talking at the end of each day, they never stopped making time for their relationship. This intentional effort to stay connected helped them maintain their intimacy well into their later years. Even as couples age and physical limitations might arise, there are always ways to keep the flame alive. For some, it's rediscovering old hobbies or learning new skills together. For others, it's as simple as holding hands while watching a movie, writing love notes, or cooking a meal together. These seemingly small gestures of togetherness can keep the bond strong and provide opportunities for both emotional and physical closeness. Moreover, one essential element in keeping intimacy alive is staying curious about each other. People continue to grow and evolve throughout their lives, and so do their desires, interests, and needs. Instead of assuming that you know everything about your partner, stay open to learning more about who they are today. This curiosity keeps the relationship fresh and exciting, even after many years together. Asking questions, sharing dreams, or exploring new activities together can reignite that initial sense of discovery and closeness. When partners feel seen and heard, it strengthens their bond and allows for deeper emotional intimacy. Even couples who have been together for decades can surprise each other with new insights, revelations, or desires. Staying curious and open-minded about each other creates space for the relationship to evolve and remain fulfilling. One final yet important lesson from the 92-year-old woman is the power of forgiveness in maintaining intimacy. Over the course of a long relationship, there will inevitably be disagreements, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings. It's natural and part of being in any close relationship. However, the ability to forgive and move forward is essential to keeping the emotional connection strong. Holding on to grudges or unresolved conflicts can create emotional distance and erode intimacy. She shared that over the course of her 60-year marriage, she and her husband had their share of arguments, but they always made it a point to resolve conflicts and forgive each other quickly. They never let small issues fester or grow into something larger. Instead, they communicated openly and honestly, which allowed them to address issues before they could damage their emotional connection. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is fine. It means acknowledging the hurt, addressing it, and choosing to let it go for the sake of the relationship. When couples practice forgiveness, they create an environment of emotional safety where both partners feel free to be vulnerable without fear of judgment or resentment. This emotional safety is crucial for maintaining intimacy as it fosters trust and openness. In the end, maintaining intimacy requires effort, intention, and a willingness to grow alongside your partner. It's about prioritizing emotional connection, making small, consistent efforts to show appreciation, being adaptable as life changes, and staying curious about each other. It's also about understanding that intimacy is not just physical, but encompasses the emotional and spiritual bond between two people. By nurturing that bond, couples can enjoy a deep and fulfilling intimacy that lasts a lifetime, even into their golden years. As the 92-year-old woman's story shows, a lifetime of love and intimacy is possible when both partners are committed to creating a relationship built on trust, communication, and mutual respect. It's not always easy, but the rewards are immeasurable. Whether you're just starting out in a new relationship or you've been together for decades, these timeless lessons can help keep the spark alive and ensure that your relationship remains a source of joy, comfort, and connection throughout your lives. Throughout their lives together, the 92-year-old woman and her husband experienced many different phases of their relationship, each with its own set of challenges and rewards. Yet, through all the ups and downs, they never stopped investing in each other. Their relationship wasn't perfect, no relationship is, but it was built on a foundation of love, respect, and commitment that saw them through even the toughest times. One of the lessons they learned early on was the importance of staying connected during periods of change. Life is constantly changing, and relationships must adapt to these changes if they are to survive. Whether it's a new job, a move to a different city, or the birth of a child, major life events can shake the foundation of a relationship. However, by facing these changes together, rather than letting them drive a wedge between you, couples can strengthen their bond. For example, when they were younger, the couple faced financial difficulties that put a strain on their marriage. There were times when money was tight, and they worried about how they would make ends meet. However, instead of allowing the stress to pull them apart, they made a conscious effort to support each other and face the challenges as a team. By working together and keeping the lines of communication open, they were able to come out of those difficult times even stronger. Another major change came when they became parents. Raising children is one of the most rewarding, but also one of the most demanding experiences in a relationship. It's easy for couples to lose sight of each other when they are focused on caring for their children, but the woman emphasized that it's crucial to make time for your partner, even when you're in the thick of parenting. She and her husband made it a point to have regular date nights, even if it meant just taking a walk together after the kids were in bed. They also made sure to support each other as co-parents rather than falling into the trap of blaming each other when things got difficult. This sense of teamwork helped them maintain their emotional connection even during the most challenging years of raising children. As their children grew older and eventually left home, the couple found themselves facing another major life transition: empty nest syndrome. This is a time when many couples struggle to redefine their relationship without the presence of their children. It can be a difficult adjustment as parents often feel a sense of loss or purposelessness once their children have moved out. However, the woman and her husband saw this as an opportunity to reconnect with each other on a deeper level. They began traveling more, pursuing hobbies they had put on hold while raising their family, and spending more quality time together. The absence of their children allowed them to focus on their relationship in a way they hadn't been able to during the busy years of parenting. This period of rediscovery brought them even closer and allowed them to enjoy a new phase of intimacy in their relationship. As the years went by and they entered their senior years, the couple faced another set of challenges related to aging. Physical limitations, health issues, and the loss of loved ones are all part of growing older, and these challenges can take a toll on a relationship. However, the woman emphasized that, once again, it's about facing these challenges together. They supported each other through illnesses, surgeries, and the inevitable aches and pains that come with aging. One of the ways they maintained their intimacy during this time was by focusing on emotional closeness. While physical intimacy may change with age, emotional intimacy can continue to grow stronger. The couple made it a point to have deep, meaningful conversations, share their hopes and fears, and simply enjoy each other's company. This emotional connection became the foundation of their intimacy in their later years. Another important lesson the woman shared was the need for patience and understanding as you grow older together. With age comes a greater need for patience, not just with your partner, but with yourself as well. Physical and mental changes can lead to frustration, but it's important to approach these changes with compassion and a sense of humor. The ability to laugh together, even in the face of difficulties, can go a long way in maintaining intimacy. The couple also understood that as they aged, their roles in the relationship might change. For instance, there were times when one partner needed to take on more responsibility due to the other's health issues. Instead of viewing this as a burden, they saw it as an opportunity to show love and care for each other. This sense of mutual support and willingness to adapt to changing circumstances was key to their long-lasting intimacy. As they reflected on their life together, the woman noted that one of the most important things they did was to never take each other for granted. It's easy to become complacent in a long-term relationship and assume that your partner will always be there, but this mindset can erode intimacy over time. The couple made a conscious effort to appreciate each other every day, whether it was through small acts of kindness or simply expressing gratitude for each other's presence. They never stopped saying, "I love you," even after decades of being together. Those 3 words, simple as they may seem, held immense power in their relationship. They served as a constant reminder of the love they shared and the commitment they had made to each other. In the end, the woman's story is a testament to the power of love, commitment, and shared experiences in creating a deep and lasting intimacy. It's a reminder that intimacy is not something that happens by chance. It's something that must be cultivated and nurtured over time. Whether you're just starting a relationship or you've been with your partner for decades, the lessons from this couple's journey offer valuable insights into how to keep the flame of intimacy burning bright throughout your lives. Their story also serves as a reminder that love is a journey, not a destination. There will be highs and lows, moments of joy and moments of difficulty, but through it all, it's the effort you put into the relationship that will determine its strength and longevity. By prioritizing emotional connection, staying curious about each other, forgiving each other's mistakes, and adapting to life's changes, you can build a relationship that remains intimate and fulfilling no matter how many years pass. As the 92-year-old woman reflected on her life with her husband, she smiled and said that after all these years, she still looked forward to waking up next to him every morning. It wasn't because their relationship was perfect or because they never faced challenges, but because they had built something real and lasting, something that had withstood the test of time. And in the end, that's what true intimacy is all about, a deep, abiding connection that grows stronger with each passing day, built on a foundation of love, trust, and shared experiences. It's a reminder that no matter how old you are, the spark of intimacy can always be rekindled if you're willing to put in the effort. The woman's story continues to reveal the depth of her relationship, highlighting that intimacy is more than just physical or romantic. It encompasses emotional, mental, and spiritual closeness. As the years went by, they nurtured these different aspects of intimacy, understanding that a relationship evolves, and what brought them together in the beginning was not necessarily what sustained them over the decades. They faced the inevitable loss of friends and family members, which deepened their appreciation for each other. These shared losses created a bond of empathy and support that only strengthened their connection. Grief, while difficult, was something they faced together, comforting each other through sorrow and sharing memories of those they had lost. In doing so, they realized the importance of being present for each other in life's hardest moments, recognizing that intimacy often thrives when partners support each other in times of vulnerability. With advancing age also came the awareness that time together is finite. This led the couple to cherish the small, everyday moments even more. They would sit together quietly, hand in hand, simply enjoying the company of the person they had shared their life with. Whether it was a quiet morning routine over coffee or watching the sunset together in the evening, these seemingly simple acts became some of the most meaningful expressions of their intimacy. The woman shared how they never stopped learning from each other. Even after decades of marriage, they remained curious about each other's thoughts, dreams, and fears. They asked each other questions and continued to grow as individuals within the relationship. They understood that people change over time, and rather than resist this, they embraced each other's growth. This curiosity helped them stay emotionally connected, keeping their relationship dynamic and preventing it from becoming stagnant. Laughter, too, played a vital role in their intimacy. As they grew older, they learned to laugh at life's absurdities, at themselves, and sometimes even at the challenges they faced. Humor, they discovered, could diffuse tension and bring lightness to difficult situations. It allowed them to maintain a sense of joy, even as they dealt with the complexities of aging and the inevitable changes that come with it. Laughter became a way of reminding themselves that no matter what, they still found joy in each other's presence.